and being a kissless version at 28 years old, I finally accepted the invitation to go on a date. Now, I didn't exactly know what a date is supposed to be, so I took her to a fancy restaurant, we went to the movies, and then we went to a casino. What's up folks, it's Uranus from Brussels, welcome to another video. If you ever think your dating life sucks or it's too late to even start, then you need to watch this video, because I used to be the biggest late bloomer ever and I used to be the shyest person in any room. I had my first proper date when I was 28 years old, and back in those days, because of health issues in the past, I was basically still going through medically induced puberty. I was terrified of anything that even remotely sounded like going on a date, and I was super anxious about rejection. Like, I have a fear of height, and I was more nervous on my first date than the first time I went skydiving. But I got asked out and I politely refused the first time, but I couldn't refuse on the second invitation. Now let's see how it went and if it actually matters at what age you start. So first of all, it's never too late to actually start dating. Let's put that out of the way. Whether you're 15, 25 like me, 28 or 87, it doesn't matter. Man, woman, circle, it doesn't matter. It's always the good time to meet other people and have fun. If you don't know my story, because of pituitary issues at birth, basically I missed out on puberty. I ended up looking like this at 25 years old, and I started hormonal replacement therapy to medically go through puberty. I basically was a kissless virgin and I had to learn everything 10 years after normal people. But what is normal anyway, right? Most people, they start their puberty with a wet dream at 14 years old. I started my puberty at 25 when I was injected with testosterone in the locker room of a gym. 2.5 years of injections, workouts, and me getting out of my comfort zone passed by, and my body is now completely different, but however my mind is not, and we'll get back later to that in a minute. But for dating and for general confidence, it's incredibly important that you know who you are and that you are one between mind and body. Back in those days, what I saw was the person on the left instead of the person on the right. The body had completely changed, but the mind had not, so it made me incredibly anxious and nervous if somebody was interested in dating me. I was the kind of person that would say, she's out of my league. Anyway, let me tell you a thing right here. There are no leagues at all. It's all Netflix bullshit. So without any dating experience and being a kissless version at 28 years old, I finally accepted the invitation to go on a date. Now, I didn't exactly know what a date is supposed to be, so I took her to a fancy restaurant, we went to the movies, and then we went to a casino. Sounds lovely, right? Well, let's see. The restaurant was nice, but I was really anxious, and that made it quite hard because it was my very first date and it's hard to answer questions and really be interested in somebody else while you're completely stressed out. So we ended up talking about our job a lot, and that sucks. If I can give you a good tip, is to always have at least 5 different interesting topics to talk about on a date and to always listen to the person in front of you. Also, don't ever go to the movies on a first or a second or a third date. You can't talk to each other during the movie, so it's quite hard to get to know each other better. Plus, there's always that awkward moment of like, is she really expecting me to share my popcorn with her or to put my arm around her? Avoid that awkwardness on a first date altogether, and don't go to the movies, because if you can't talk to each other, what's the point? Casinos, I thought it was going to be like in the James Bond movies, like really fancy, but it turns out in Brussels, casinos are just full of addicts wasting their money in their sweatpants and sleeping on machines. We still had quite some good time. Anyway, I dropped her off back home, and the next day I received a text message saying that she really had a good time, but she wasn't going to see me anymore. Basically, she thought I was boring, probably because of all the stress. It doesn't matter, that failure was a very good introduction. I had gotten out of my comfort zone and I had done something that a couple of years before that, I had never thought I was going to do that. I actually ate in front of a woman with the purpose of getting to know each other better. You gotta put yourself out there, no matter the age you are or where you start or the experience that you have. It's like going to the gym for the very first time. Once you feel those tingling sensations inside of you and that fear of you comes up, that's a good thing. That actually means you're about to get out of your comfort zone and everything you ever wanted lies behind that stupid comfort zone. Besides, a couple of weeks later, I received a text message from that very same girl, and the first date must not have been that bad after all, because we ended up having a thing together. It wasn't all sunshine and roses, and I ended up with a busted heart and 15 kilograms of fat more. I fell in love with the wrong person. I turned to eating again. I fell into depression, and when I was dirty bulking like an idiot. But that very first experience got me out of my comfort zone, and once I started dating again and again, things went better and better every time. If you never try, you'll never know. Failing and learning is just part of that experience. And trust me, women are way less scary than you would think. They generally do not bite. So it took me a good 5 months to get back into shape and to start dating again and again. I even started to ask girls out for the first time, and I got rejected a lot of times, of course, and I cared the first couple of times, but after that I stopped caring about rejection. Once you have more practice and things go easier, you don't take things that personally anymore. Who the hell cares if you get rejected or a date doesn't go as you expected? You learn, you move on, and whether you're 15 or 85 years old. But the key for me will always be to be one with your body. If mind and spirit align, you will be way less anxious and you will doubt yourself less. And that's where the gym played a really important role for me. Find some physical activity that makes you reconnect with your body. Once you love yourself, you don't take things that personally anymore, and it will help your social life. Dating gets fun after some time, and eventually that's how I met my partner, and we've been together for more than 4 years now. There were a lot of failures before that, trust me, but if I had never gotten out of my comfort zone and went for that very first date, I might have never met my girlfriend. Get out of your comfort zones and fuck rejection. If I can do it at 28 while still going through medically induced puberty after years of bullying, depression, loneliness, and zero experience in dating, you can do it too, my friends. Don't forget to have some fun too. Meeting other people and dating is actually fun, even if you meet some crazy people too. And trust me, if you live in Brussels, you will definitely meet some crazy people. After that, at least you have a good story to tell. Ending it here. Leave me a comment to support my channel. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Uranus out.